Yo, what it is, YouTube? It's your boy DC coming back with another bullseye of a video here today on the channel. We're gonna be dropping Central C V3 vocal preset. So Central C is a really dope artist. He made a really dope song with 21 Savage, GBP, okay, and I wanted to do a vocal preset for that. So if y'all like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Suggest more artists that we should do presets for. And if you want to grab it, check the links in the comments. Let me know what you think. So let's get to it right now.
With I had an AK-47 with 100 rounds. Red carpet on my tracksuit and Air Max. They wanna boy with a London style. We ain't got generation, I won't got a couple of mil for my unborn child. If I pay man £100,000, I can get a man bum right in front of a crowd. With I had an AK-47 with 100 rounds. Red carpet in my tracksuit Air Max. They wanna boy with a London style. We ain't got generation, I won't got a couple of mil for my unborn child. If I pay a man £100,000, I can get a man bum right in front of a crowd. With I had an AK-47 with 100 rounds. Red carpet on my tracksuit and Air Max. They wanna boy with a London style. We ain't got generation, I won't got a couple of mil for my unborn child. If I pay man £100,000, I can get a man bum right in front of a crowd.
All right, so you guys got understanding. That's me trying to do my best impression of Central C. All right, so let's see what it sound like with and without the preset.
With I had an AK-47 with 100 rounds. Red carpet in my tracksuit Air Max. They wanna boy with a London style. We ain't got generation, I won't got a couple of mil for my unborn child. If I pay a man £100,000, I can get a man bum right in front of a crowd. Oh, that's GDP. With I had an AK-47 with 100 rounds. Red carpet in my tracksuit Air Max. They wanna boy with a London style. We ain't got generation, I won't got a couple of mil for my unborn child. If I pay a man 100.
Yeah, so with the preset, you kind of hear it helps it just sit back more and actually sound like it's a part of the real song. So yeah, I used the Kramer tape. First of all, I know Central C, he's an aggressive rapper. So, I was trying to actually use some of the distortion from the Kramer tape, which is the flux, which adds the artifacts and stuff like that to it, to actually, bring out more aggression in his vocal, without actually having to use any EQ. So that's just me understanding the basic component of Kramer tape. And also, I just like the way this just really adds a good bit of size. It kind of does liposuction to the vocal, or, it kind of does like implants to the vocal. It just makes it thicker in the mid.
With I had an AK-47 with 100 rounds. Red carpet in my tracksuit Air Max. They wanna boy with a London style. We ain't got generation, I won't got a couple of mil for my unborn child. If I pay a man £100,000, I can get a man bum right in front of a crowd. Oh, that's GDP. With I had an AK-47 with 100 rounds. Red carpet in my tracksuit Air Max. They wanna boy with a London style. We ain't got generation, I won't got a couple of mil for my.
So yeah, so we're looking at, after that, I used the SSL V2 channel, and I only used it just because I could change the sound of the low end. I like the brown mode specifically. That's just like kind of picking, like, if you want blue cheese or you want ranch dressing on your chicken wings. It's just a flavor preference thing, and I just feel like this flavor, fit this type of dish, which is the vocal better. So that's why I went with that. And then at that point, we used a little bit of compression too, just like a low level ratio that just really ties everything. And with a guy that's rapping fast, you usually generally want a faster release. It reminds me of that song when Ludacris said, "When you move, I move," just like that. You know what I mean? That's how you want your compressor to be matching the movement of the lead vocal, okay?
With I had an AK-47 with 100 rounds. Red carpet in my tracksuit Air Max. They wanna boy with a London style. We ain't got generation, I won't got a couple of mil for my unborn child. If I pay a man £100,000, I can get a man bum right in front of a crowd. With I had an AK-47 with 100 rounds. Red carpet in my tracksuit Air Max. They wanna boy with a London style. We ain't got generation, I won't got a couple of mil for my unborn child. If I pay a man £100,000, I can get a man bum right in front of a crowd. Oh.
All right, so that just kind of helps add that aggression, that VCA circuit. That's why we picked that on purpose, all right?
With I had an AK-47 with 100 rounds. Red carpet in my tracksuit and Air Max. They wanna boy with a London style. We ain't got generation, I won't got a couple of mil for my unborn child. If I pay a man £100,000, I can get a man bum right in front of a crowd. Oh, that's GDP. The price.
All right, so de-esser's working ever so slightly. Then we use the C4, and I just use the default preset. For some reason when I just pulled out the default preset, it just sounded good and it just really balanced out the vocal. He's rapping fast, he's rapping aggressively. So of course it's like a rocky mountain with different rocks and climbing rocks. Some rocks might be sharp, some rocks might be soft. That's like an uneven surface, which is the vocal, uneven performance. So we kind of want to smooth it out, kind of like a sidewalk that the city needs to come fix up. It's all bumpy and cracky. That's like how his voice is, like it's all over the place. Could have got an AK with an 87 with a 100 round. Red chuck in my MX, AMX could have been what that. You feel me? Like all of that stuff is like a rocky and bumpy road. We want to smooth it out, turn it into a brand new street, a brand new sidewalk. All right. So that's why we're gonna use the C4 to kind of like flatten it out, but in a musical way. And hard and electro is gonna be more responsive than the others, electro and soft. All right.
Would I had an AK-47 with 100 rounds, red carpet in my tracksuit Amex, they wanna wear with our London style. We ain't got generation now, we've got a couple of mil for my onboard child. If I pay a man £100,000, I could get a man bun right in front of a crowd. Would I had an AK-47 with 100 rounds, red carpet in my tracksuit Amex, they wanna wear with our London style. We ain't got generation now, we've got a couple of mil for my onboard child. If I pay a man £100,000, I could get a man bun right in front of a crowd.
So you notice like the multiband compressor is almost kind of like an elastic band, Imagine that you trying to like, you got a bunch of pens or pencils and you just kind of want to hold them in place. Imagine that to be your vocal, which is the pens and pencils, using the elastic band, which is the C4 to, tie them up in one big band and, keep them motherfuckers in place. So then after that, we're looking at the MV2. I only use that just for the a little bit of the limiter. I just like how it pinched the vocal like a grandma you ain't seen in 10 years, your auntie, you ain't seen her at your friendly reunion, and she pinching your face. It just pinches the vocal a little bit, and because it's kind of pinching the face, it's bringing out more of the vocal.
Would I had an AK-47 with 100 rounds, red carpet in my tracksuit Amex, they wanna wear with our London style. We ain't got generation now, we've got a couple of mil for my onboard child. If I pay a man £100,000, I could get a man bun. Would I had an AK-47 with 100 rounds, red carpet in my tracksuit Amex, they wanna wear with our London style. We ain't got generation now, we've got a couple of mil for my onboard child. If I pay a man £100,000, I could get a man bun right in front of a crowd.
All right, so that's good. And then we use the fresh air, which is gonna brighten up the vocal.
Would I had an AK-47 with 100 rounds, red carpet in my tracksuit Amex, they wanna wear with our London style. We ain't got generation now, we've got a couple of mil for my onboard child. If I pay a man £100,000, I could get a man bun right in front of a crowd. Oh, that's GDP.
All right, cool. So then we see the RVox.
Would I had an AK-47 with 100 rounds, red carpet in my tracksuit Amex, they wanna wear with our London style. We ain't got generation now, we've got a couple of mil for my onboard child. If I pay a man £100,000.
So imagine at this point, this is kind of like I'm making s'mores. And this is like the sweetness of the marshmallow, and this is kind of like the thickness of the chocolate, the kind of final pieces of sweetness to really just get the vocal to feel like a s'mores, like the graham cracker and all that shit like that, and the goodiness dripping. You feel me? So then I use a sook vocal to kind of just make sure I keep shit all together. Some people, when they make s'mores and they're camping and shit, they'll poke like a hole through it or on the marshmallows or whatever to keep that marshmallow in place. That's what that sook vocal is for me. It's like that kebab stick when you like grilling meat or some shit like that. It's just gonna keep shit cooking evenly. I want shit to cook evenly. I don't want to I don't want to eat. I don't want to season one side and have the other side have no seasoning. I don't want one part to sound too bright and then my low mid to sound weird. So I use this to just be like a consistency thing.
Would I had an AK-47 with 100 rounds, red carpet in my tracksuit Amex, they wanna wear with our London style. We ain't got generation now, we've got a couple of mil for my onboard child. If I pay a man £100,000, I could get a man bun right in front of a crowd. Oh, that's GDP. Would I had an AK-47 with 100 rounds, red carpet in my tracksuit Amex, they wanna wear with our London style. We ain't got generation now, we've got a couple of mil for my onboard child. If I pay a man £100,000, I could get a man bun right in front of.
All right, then after that, we're looking at a situation with the H delay, just a basic quarter note. Then I used the R verb, like a hall, like super short, but then I squeezed it with an MV2. I think this is notable, so I'll show it to you.
Would I had an AK-47 with 100 rounds, red carpet in my tracksuit Amex, they wanna wear with our London.
So it just puts the vocal in a space. It's not even really to like have it sound like reverb. Since you'll see a lot of times his vocals are like dry as fuck, low key, and that just gives it more solidity. Just a basic doubler, V2, and squashing it, literally like how the name says.
Would I had an AK-47 with 100 rounds, red carpet in my tracksuit Amex, they wanna wear with our London style. We ain't got generation now, we've got a couple of mil for my onboard child. If I pay a man £100,000, I could get a man bun right in front of a crowd. Would I had an AK-47 with 100 rounds? Red carpet in my tracksuit Amex, they wanna boy with a London style. We ain't got generation now, we've got a couple of mil for my unborn child. If I pay a man £100,000, I could get a man bun right in front of a crowd. Oh, that's G.
All right, I respect how that just makes the vocal sound very like spitty and all that nice stuff like that. And MV2 is great to get that spitty rap type of vocal. That's what Central C has. So we got to use the proper tools. You got a steak, use a steak knife to cut that bit. Don't use a plastic knife to cut it. Then we use the EV2. We separating the ad-libs from the lead vocal with tone. Now I use the black knob instead of the brown knob. And I use the MV2 again just to pinch the ad-libs to keep them in place.
Would I had an AK-47 with 100 rounds? Red carpet in my tracksuit Amex, they wanna boy with a London style. We ain't got generation now, we've got a couple of mil for my unborn child. If I pay a man £100,000, I could get a man bun right in front of a crowd. That's GDP. That's GDP.
All right, and C4 pop vocal to get the ad-libs up, jump out a little bit. It's doing like some upwards compressing type of adding gain and stuff like that at certain regions. Stock vocal, the silk vocal, I'll kind of always use that just because it just takes out like redundant mid-range and redundant low end. It just gives me like the actual stuff that I actually want from an ad-lib, which is just the sound of the voice without all of the extra fluff, and then an eighth note in a stock R verb, nothing crazy. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the video here today. If you guys like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below to support the channel. Check the links, grab the preset. Tell me what you think in the comments. Did I sound like Central C? How was my impression? And I just want to say thanks a lot for being a great part of the YouTube family. Appreciate y'all. Peace.